Good morning, good morning. I hope everybody doing well this morning. We got a topic for you. We are talking about Mr. Sean. Well, we got the news. He was unalive for colon cancer. Yes. We're going to be talking. What is your thoughts? I'm coming to you, the people, to say, hey, what is your thoughts? Do you feel like this is karma? Do you feel like, hey, it's R.I.P., rest in peace? Or he got what he deserved? What is your thoughts? What is you, the people? I'm coming to you, the people. Make sure you share, like, repost. Let's get more people in the conversation. Let's go. So let me do the same while everybody let me add it to my stories. Make sure y'all like, share. We got people coming in, people coming out. Make sure y'all like as y'all come through. We gonna get things popping in a little bit. I want to make sure everybody doing well. Yes. Let me share. Okay. Early morning. Let's go. Make sure y'all tap the screen. Make sure y'all tap that screen. Let's go. Let's get it. Because TikTok will not be pushing this. So I need you, the people. You, the people. Let's get this going. Let's go. Yes. And got more story. We got more stories to talk about. So let me share some more. Most people might be at work. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm sending it. I'm sharing to people. I hope more people come in. I hope more people share the live, repost the live. Also tap that screen, hit that like, so we'll get everything started. Right now I'm sharing the live to more people. Okay. Do what I can do. Okay, more people. Make sure y'all tap that screen. Let's get it in the algorithm. Let's get this in the algorithm. Come on. Make sure y'all tap that screen. Let's get this in the algorithm. Let's get more people in here. Make sure y'all repost. Make sure y'all share. We're going to be talking about Officer or ex-officer Sean. What is your thoughts about his untimely passing away? Do you feel like it's karma? Do you feel like we shouldn't even be talking about this? Or you feel like he got what he deserved? Or you feel like he should have dealt with his time. Make sure y'all share y'all thoughts. That's what this live about. Make sure y'all tap the like button. Let's get this started. Yeah, it's early morning. While you on your way to work, we got a topic for you. I'm here early in the morning in the newsroom. News mean never in the working service. And we got a topic for you. I'm asking you, the people, how do you feel when you learn? How do you feel now? And what did you feel? What is your thoughts on the untimely passing of Mr. Sean? An ex? Indiana. Y'all know. Indiana. Right. No, Illinois. I'm sorry. Illinois deputy. Illinois. Oh my goodness. He passed away over colon cancer. What is your thoughts? Make sure y'all tap the screen. Make sure y'all tap that screen. We get more people in here. Make sure y'all tap that screen. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, we get more people on. Make sure y'all tap that screen. Thank you. Thank you for the heart. Thank you for the heart meet. Make sure y'all do y'all daily heart meets. Appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. I want everybody to understand. When I get more heart meat in my life, it created into diamonds, a diamond prize pool. It helped get more views. It put me in the algorithm better. More likes will attract more views. So make sure y'all hit them likes. Make sure y'all share. Make sure y'all repost. So I'm asking you, the people, what is your thought of learning about the untimely passing of ex-officer Sean? He had colon cancer. He was supposed to have done time for the unaliving of Sonya Massey. Some people don't care. Some people feel like it's karma. Some people feel like they wish he would have done his time. What is your thoughts? I want to see how American fathers certain events like this. Do we look at it as tragedy? Do we look at it as humor? Do we look at it as just don't care? Do y'all feel like he was innocent of the charges that was put against him? Make sure y'all have respectful comment. I'm not blocking you. TikTok gonna block you. They gonna filter out certain comments if it's disrespectful. So please be mindful of your comments. Anyone and everyone is allowed on the panel as long as you be respectful. Outside of that, you have free reign to talk. Make sure you tap that like button, repost, share. Let's get more people in here. Let's have this discussion. Yesterday, I found out that Mr. Sean had passed away over colon cancer, and he was supposed to be doing a good length of time for the unaliving of Sonya Massey. You, the people, TikTok, this early morning, I'm asking a tough question. It might be tough for some of y'all, or it might just be simple for some of y'all. That's what we here today to find out. Yes, yes. We got people joining in. I hope y'all doing well. Let me okay, let me see, let me put some more people in here, share it to some more people. Yes, yes, I believe I already did. Let me send it. Okay. Make sure y'all send the live. Okay, we got a guest. Hello, how you doing today?
Good morning. Good morning. For the conversation going, I feel like it's definitely karma all the way. But in my opinion, I wish that he would have did the time to suffer. So I wish he would have lived and did all the jail time needed.
Yes.
That was an easy escape for me, and I'm quite sure the parents and the family that's of Sandra's wish it would have went a different way also.
Thank you for your thought.
You're welcome.
Yes, everyone thoughts is appreciated because yesterday a lot of people found out that officer. Can you mute your mic real quick?
I am also on this one.
Okay, I do it. So thank you. So thank you Moody for the follower. Thank you for following the host. So yesterday found out that Mr. Sean had passed away over colon cancer. And it was a shock to a lot of people because a lot of people was following the Sonya Massey. Wait, let me put this like this. Okay. I want to know your thoughts. The people of America, people of the world, and the people who was following the Sonya Massey case. A lot of people felt justice was served when they found out that officer or ex-officer lost his job and also had to serve close to, I believe, 20 years in prison for the unaliving of Sonya Massey. How do you, the people, feel? Do you feel like we shouldn't talk about this subject? Do you feel that this is karma? Do you feel like, wow, he should have done that time for that crime and they should have kept him alive a little bit better, a little better treatment? Or you, like some people, feel like when he asked for a lighter jail sentence to deal with his medical issue, that he was supposed to have got that? Because he did request to be able to get transferred to a hospital out of his jail sentence to take care of his issue. Do you feel like the justice system, the jail system, the criminal system failed him as an ex-officer? Do you feel the justice system failed him when they found him guilty of the crime? You, American people, I'm asking you your thoughts. Feel free to chime in. Everyone is allowed to join the panel. Make sure you help the host. We do got daily goals. If you can help with the daily goal, it is appreciated. We do have a gift gallery, and make sure you hit the daily heart meet. But outside of that, you can help free by reposting, sharing, and liking the live. So now it is it is a tragedy when a life is lost. On my part, I can say that. I'm your host, Henry, in the newsroom. News mean never in the working service. I would like to know what's your opinion. Make sure y'all share the live, share the live, hit the like. Let me see something. We got 3 people so far. We got Moody, we got Pipe, we got Taya J. Thank you. Thank you for being on here so far. And the people who coming in and leaving out, thank y'all for coming and supporting the live. Thanks for the gifts. So there's a lot of issues that going on in America. And you, the people, y'all have a voice. In the newsroom, we giving the people the voice in a respectful way so we could be productive, so people can understand us clear. But in the newsroom, we giving people a voice so we all could be heard, our thoughts, our understanding, our culture. That's the American way. America is a melting pot of ideas. Some of them ideas could be inspiration, and some of them ideas could be destructive. Some of them ideas could make us think, and some of them ideas could annoy us. But it was a wonderful world that we live in, that we could voice our opinion on a platform that many could hear and many can participate. Yes, it's early. Some of y'all just waking up. It is 8:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time where the newsroom is at. Some people is coming from the UK. Some people coming from Africa. Several countries from Africa. From the islands. From all over the world. People from China might be in here. So I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. And we're going to start this conversation right. Make sure y'all tap that screen, tap that screen. Appreciate. Yes, yes. So we had 54 total views, people coming in and people coming out. 1 new follower, 1 gifter. Appreciate you all for the participation, everything. Thank you, Taya J. You here? You is the main supporter. You also a moderator. Appreciate you for helping the channel, being here for day one. So everybody, sometimes justice happens the way that we would like it, and sometimes justice occur in a way that we cannot fathom. To Sonya Massey family, her children, or any of her relatives or neighbors might have felt like justice was served when Mr. Sean was arrested, put in prison to spend 20 some years. Some people might have felt like it wasn't justice. Some people might support the police officer and felt like he wasn't supposed to have done time. And you got people that feel like he got what he deserved. This is America. As you can see, the flag is flagging in the background. This is America. You all have opinions. Some people gonna say R.I.P. Sonya, so we won't forget her name. Some people might feel like the justice system failed Mr. Sean when they should have allowed him medical treatment. Y'all understand? Make sure y'all tap that screen, tap that screen. Let's get more people in. But by you tapping that screen, it is free, it is easy. By tapping your phone, it'll allow more people to come in so we can really have a conversation. This is an open panel. You all are welcome to come on the panel. Well, I'm gonna send invites for guests. Okay, we got someone coming on. Wait, okay. I'm sending. Okay. Hello, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. So,
So what's the prompt about? I don't really understand it.
so yesterday we here at the newsroom found out that ex-officer Sean had passed away for colon cancer. And I want to know people thoughts, the people thoughts. Do y'all feel like RIP Mr. Sean? Want to give condolences? Or you, the people, individually want to say he got what he deserved, karma? It's whatever you feel is necessary.
Well, what did he do?
So he is the officer that unalived a lady named Sonya Massey. And he was sentenced to 20 years, but he wasn't able to serve that time because he is untimely death of colon cancer.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. but I mean, I don't wish death upon anybody ever, but you know, I mean, I do believe that you get what you reap what you sow. So, you know, I mean, it just depends. But yeah, man, I just wanted to say hi. I saw you were looking for people. Just wanted to say what's up.
Yes,
And
thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
yeah, for sure, man. Of course. And yeah, I'll stay in the comments. And if you know, if I see I can add to the conversation, I will. I'm going to research this and figure out more about it, and
Okay.
then go from there.
Okay, thank you. See, this is why I'm doing this live to make people research and know what's going on around us. And we do have another guest. How to pronounce that? Can I say Kim?
Yeah, it's fine. Kimber, it's fine.
Okay, how you doing, Kim?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good, good. How do you
Awesome.
feel about the subject at hand?
Okay, I know this, and I watched it. I'm not going to say anyone deserves to die or whatever, but I will say
Say
this:
I'm
that
unalive.
unalive. Okay, I do apologize. That lady called the police for help, and he went in there trigger happy. She was elderly. They say that there's some people saying she threw water at him. I watched that video numerous times. I never saw. I don't even think she
Oh,
had the
that's
strength
Oh,
to pick up that
wait, hold
pan of
on
water.
just a moment. Hold on just a
Okay.
moment. You can come back on. I thought you wanted to go inside the comment section, but if you want to come back on, please send a invite back again, and I will put you on. Okay, here you go. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kim.
Okay. She did not have enough strength to pick up that pan of water and throw it on him. He was trigger happy. He deserved the time he got. It's you know, it is what it is. I thought he was unalived through inmates at first. I had to Google how he was unalived. When I say God sees all, he definitely does. So you know, the man went out in a terrible way, but he took a life in a very terrible way. So that's all I can say about that one.
I did not realize that that was this story. I remember watching that, and I don't care what anybody says. That was a difference between a officer deciding to be a boy or a man, and he should have been a man in that situation. He was never in any real danger. Period.
I agree.
Period. And that was just the weirdest, creepiest thing to see half of the society be supportive of this guy. I don't care. Like, I don't know. To me, like, I know police are told to use a higher level of force. Like, they get attacked with a knife, or a knife, they're going to use a pew pew, and it's like, I don't resonate well with that, especially man versus woman. Now, obviously, there's different circumstances, but this was definitely not one of them. That woman was definitely distressed. She needed help, not judgment. That was messed up. And yeah, I mean, God takes care of them all in the end. So that's wild. That's all I got to say.
Yes, yes. So we got someone else coming in. We getting a panel here. Thank y'all for joining the panel. I appreciate it a lot.
Hi, good morning. I just was scrolling through my FYP and I saw that picture, so I came in to see what the conversation was about.
So,
Um,
so the
I,
conversation. Hello, yeah, I'm your host, Henry, in the newsroom. News mean never in the working service. So the topic here today is that ex-officer Sean had passed away over colon cancer.
right.
Everyone, your thoughts about this. You could feel however you feel. You'll feel like it's karma that this came upon this guy, or you'll feel like this is a tragic event. You could feel like the justice system failed this individual because of the time they gave him. Anything you feel, you are welcome, along as everyone is respectful.
Okay, so my opinion is he definitely was wrong. Unless he don't take baths and he was scared of the water. And I feel like, well, alleged she had been at the hospital. His wife worked at the hospital. I feel like something happened at the hospital. The wife was complaining. You know, she called just the vent and said her name, and he knew who she was. And now that I know that he passed from colon cancer or whatever, I think that he took her out because he wanted to see what it felt like, and he knew that he wasn't going to survive.
Did he have colon cancer prior to going to
Yes,
jail?
he is stage 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like he unalived her because he wanted to see what it felt like, since he knew that he wasn't going to be here long to serve that time.
Ooh, that's a true sickness.
And
I actually have a resonance of truth with that. Hearing that, I got this weird thing in my life where, sometimes it just rings different when I hear something. That's probably the truest ring I've heard on this story since, and that's creepy.
I agree.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's how I feel, because he didn't do it prior. He didn't take anybody's life prior. I don't know what his record is. But come on now. That doctor told him he
Like,
didn't
this is
have,
my chance. Yeah,
yeah,
this is my chance. I don't have much time left. That's messed up.
absolutely. The doctor the doctor told him however long he has, and they couldn't do anything for him. And why not take the opportunity? It was just water that she did not throw. And he wasn't going to be here long. Because what other reason why he would do that?
I'll tell a good story. I had a friend of mine. She crashed out and was just having a bad night, and she ended up getting into her dad's closet and coming out with a pew pew. And there was like 20 cops there, and if it wasn't for one gentleman, it would have went that way as well. But he literally just walked up to her and was like, "Hey, can we just sit down and talk?" And she just sat down next to him. He took it from her, and it's like, and I understand cops can't act like that all the time. There's a lot of danger out there, but that's why I'm not a police officer. I consider myself a man, but I think a police officer is a unrealistic position because you're supposed to put your life at risk to protect that innocent individual's rights to see their day in court. And what's happening today is police officers are becoming the judges and the executioners instead of protecting that person like they are innocent until proven guilty. They are assumed guilty and dealt with in that manner. And that's, to me, where we're seeing like the biggest disconnect in our society is police officers are saying, well, yeah, they pull that trigger because they want to get home to their family. Well, then they shouldn't be a cop. They're supposed to put their life on the line for criminals to protect them and get them to court. And I know that sounds
I
messed
don't
up.
agree
That's
with
why,
that.
but that's the truth. That's what they're supposed to protect a criminal and prove them and treat them as if they're innocent until proven guilty. That's their job.
so Kimberly, you said you don't agree. What you don't agree
Well,
to?
I have a lot of police officer friends, and they have to come home to their families. They have children waiting on them the same way the other person does as well. When you put yourself in a position to go out and commit a crime or to do things like to do bad, you have to
Are they
accept
bad
the
things though?
consequences.
Until court, they're not bad things. They're just
Well,
things.
it depends. It depends. If I'm holding a pew pew, and I know there's officers out there, a lot of people go out and they have it in their mind they want to go out death by
Yep.
police officer. Okay, I've seen it. I've it happens. Okay, but if you are committing a crime and you got a pew pew on an officer who has to come home to his family, the officer does what he has to do to save himself. Okay.
Yeah,
But
that's
in
him
this
thinking as
situation,
a person, not as an officer. That again, that's why it's an unrealistic position because, yeah, as a person, he wants to get home to his family, but he's not a person when he's in that uniform. He's a representation of the state and an
that's
arm of the
untrue.
legal enforcement. It is
You're still
100%
a
true.
person. You're still a
Here's
No,
the
you're
person.
not.
thing.
Not
Yes,
when
you
you work
are.
for the government.
I myself applied for a police officer position 8 years ago. Yeah, like 8 years ago, because I'm 47. I think I did it at 39. I don't know, something like that. But I knew that going into that that there was a at that time I knew, I'm like, it's a 25% chance I'm not going to make it back home to my kids. Then everything happened with the world, Black Lives Matter. And at that time, I looked at it and I said, well, now it's 75% chance I won't make it home to my kids. I'm not going to risk my life for people that don't care about me. And while I was doing training, I looked at some of them people and knew that they wasn't right. You can see it in their
Amen.
face,
Yep.
and that
I saw that with
I
my whole
seen
family.
one and I
My whole
looked at
family
him and I
turned.
said, he's not right. And I said, I'm
Yep.
gonna see him on the news eventually for taking someone's life. I looked at him and saw that he wasn't right. And true
But they
enough,
all
they
get
put
to that. They
right.
all get to
It's
that point. Like they
true
all shut
enough.
off, you
You
know?
get in that position and they wear uniforms. And yes, that's their job to serve and protect, right? But they are also human. Not saying, like the ones that just took someone for, no reason, but they are also human.
Okay, so
That they also have fears.
could a
They're
bird
not
be an art?
robots that don't fear anything. Just like you
Yeah,
going to
no,
the
I'm not
grocery
saying
store
that.
and you
I'm
see
not saying
something
that.
that happened as a civilian, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You have your own mind
I'm not
thought.
saying
Like,
that at all.
Hey, I wanna ask this question real quick. So, if any one of y'all seen the video of the incident, is anything in that video indicate that the officer should have feared her?
no.
No. But see, and that again, that's a secondary aspect though, because I'm not saying that they're robots and they just can't operate as a human, but it's like there's a reason why we don't have birds driving our trains. There's a reason why, because they can't fulfill the roles of that position. It's not because, oh, they're a bird, we should give them an equal shot as a human. That's insane. Humans cannot put their life secondary to somebody that they have already made a judgment in the moment that it's happened that they're a bad person. They're not going to subject themselves less than somebody that they think is a criminal. And that's where the disconnect happens. That's why it's an unrealistic position for somebody to hold, because very few people, you can watch 310 to Yuma. If you want to watch what a real police officer looks like, 310 to Yuma is a great representation of protecting a bad man for good reasons and justice. It's not about you make that decision, oh, I need to get home to my family. If that is your thought and your core belief in operation as a human, it supersedes your duty that you swore to uphold, then you cannot be a police officer. Now, my whole family's police, and there's a few of them who are men who have put themselves in danger several times to get a criminal to their day in court. And then I have other family members who, just like this young lady was saying, as they went through that process, the light goes off behind their eyes. They are no longer the same person. And that's when it gets really dangerous, because now they are this unit that it protects itself and protects its arms that are out there. And that's why police get away with so much. But I'm not trying to say that they need to be robots, but I'm just saying it's unrealistic. If they're going to have fear of their life over duty of their oath, then they are not going to be able to be a police officer that the public deserves.
I mean, if that's the case, then, just take out half of them all over the world. You know what
Hey,
I'm
there's a
saying?
video. We
Because,
should take them all out. I mean, if we would
but
have
I
taken them all
have,
out, would have it happened in Germany? Like, if more people took them out over there, would that have happened over there? Like, there's a good argument to be said that jackboots are jackboots, whether they are good ones or eventually going to become bad ones.
I've heard good cops say that they just want to make it home to their kids. You know what I'm saying? That never did anything bad. Everyone goal
Go
is
be a
to make it
paramedic.
back home.
Yep. Yeah. Then
They
you
want to
should.
make it back home. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean
Yeah.
that
Then
their
they shouldn't
job
be a
is safe
cop.
either.
They
Medics
shouldn't
are
be a police
There is
unalive
officer.
nothing,
too.
right? There is nothing that you can do besides working from home where if you working in the public eye, you want to make it back home. I have a son.
True.
My oldest son used to work for the city, the state, I don't know, but he used to clean the streets. He was one of those people when it snowed. Whatever you got. So he was like MoDOT, okay? And he just wanted to make it back home. He said it wasn't safe out there. He just wanted to make it back home. Now he works at the railroad company. And me with my religion, I want to make it back home because people hate us. I want to make it back home. So everyone goal when they leave their home is to make it back home safe. You know what I'm saying? That water wasn't going to hurt that man. I've seen so many cases of people fighting police officers and they do nothing. Nothing. They don't pull anything. They wrestle with these people. I just watched a video the other day. The guy was fighting with the officer and had the officer on the ground and everything. And you saw the weapons fly across the ground. He ended up taking his life, after the fact. But, it's just, that's the world we live in. I don't care what you do. You can be a cell phone representative in a store. A customer get mad and boom, you gone.
Yep.
I agree.
So everyone goal is to make it back home. We see innocent
Yes.
people don't make it home. We can use that social media, whatever she was that's on this app, who was driving 100 miles per hour, intoxicated on the wrong side of the road, and hit that baby, and he unalived. All he was doing was surprising his family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everyone want to make it home.
I agree. I agree with you. My son worked for Brinks, where he had to pick up cash every day from banks and all of his stores, and he want to make it back home also.
Right, and just for him doing that,
Yes.
if somebody is suspicious and want to run up on him, he would take their life.
Yes.
I mean, come on now. It's a natural instinct to protect yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to know if the guy that was talking about his family and how he can tell his eyes, or has he ever reported his own family to let them know that, hey, this guy might be a little off and he's an officer. You know what I mean? Because he flat out said all his family were officers, and he could see that some of them, and he actually knew that some of them didn't act correctly. Has he ever turned them in? Or is he just on Facebook or on this app saying that he thinks all police officers shouldn't protect themselves? That was a weird take.
When I said that, I meant that when I said about the police, because I was going through, what do they call it? Endurance. I was doing a practice endurance test because you have to do that. They do 3, and that's just so you can learn the course. And so you can be prepared for when you do go do the physical training part of it. There was a guy, and I was the oldest one there, and he was in his 20s. He was a YT guy. I looked at him, and he looked racist to me.
That's unfair to say. You can't say that.
No, I can't say that, but I looked at him. There were others there, but it was.
Meanwhile, you're saying YT. You know what YT stands for, right? White trash.
White.
So no, they're using it as white trash, and so we're white. You can call us white. No, you can call us white.
I don't use it in a derogatory.
Okay, but that's what it is, and so while you're sitting here saying that is very it's disrespectful because we're white. I wouldn't call you black tea. I wouldn't call you, you know what I mean? That's what we need to correct. We all need to come together because let me tell you what's happening. In our world right now, we are being taken over and they don't care our color. They just care if we're non-believers or not. Do y'all understand that? So I know I'm going off the subject.
And I get what you're saying, but I literally just said that I wasn't using it in a derogatory manner.
But it is derogatory. It means white trash.
Okay, okay, he was palm color.
You say white. Why is it so difficult for you to say white?
Is that better? Because it's TikTok.
Yeah, but you can say white on TikTok.
Well, you just did it. So anyway, that's neither here or there. And like I said, I didn't mean it in a derogatory manner. No, I'm not 18, so I really don't know what YT stands for. I just thought it stood for white. Okay? I'm not 18. I didn't Google it.
I'll accept your apology.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not even as serious. Anyway, he wasn't the only one there, but it was something in his eyes. And I pay attention to people's body language. I look in people's face, everything. I'm in school for I'm a psychology major with a concentration of mental health counseling. I looked at him and it was something that wasn't there. And I felt in my spirit that boy was going to be on the news for taking somebody's life. So when he said he's seen some of his family members with nothing in their eyes, He's seen the same thing I seen in that boy.
But has he reported it? Has he
He's
reported
not
that
gonna
to his
report his
uppers?
family. He's
Well, he
not gonna
needs
do that
to. He needs to.
because his
Let,
loyalty lie with them.
But then
let
it
me say
contradicts
something
what he
real quick.
said.
Let me say something real quick. So, thank you everyone for joining us here in the newsroom. News mean never in the working service. We here for the people. We want to hear your thought because we is in the news is based in America, and we feel like freedom of thought, freedom of expression, freedom of speech is 100% us. So come on in. The panel is live. It's open to anyone, as long as we stay respectful, so we could get an understanding. Make sure y'all tap that screen. Tap, tap, tap. That's the free way of helping promote the live to get more people in here into the conversation. Make sure y'all beat up that live chat. Your opinions do matter. Make sure y'all repost, share, and if y'all want to really help, if y'all can, please help with the daily goals and also my gift gallery. Outside of that, it's free to just tap. So we have a new person on the panel, Jess Christ-like. How you doing?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Good, good. You would like to time in?
Yeah. I had kind of came in when the other woman was talking. I too am a psychology major. I graduate in December. But I think that the comment she made kind of upset me. So I will say that I would like a little bit more clarity about the disparity between like black or BLK. I don't want. Can you say deaths? Can you say that?
Unaliving?
Unaliving compared to YT unaliving, because it's a stark contrast. Like to kind of put us in the same sentence to say, well, these people are also affected by this too. Like in the same way, it's not the same, because we only make up 12. We're entering like 13% now. So why are we 24 to 26%, unalived? But it has to be some point they have to realize that you are being hunted in some places. Some places you are being neglected, in prisons. They don't have the same value for our lives or our kids' lives or our spouses' lives compared to the other people, and why is that?
Wait, Kimber. First off, you taught me something new today, and I didn't say that. I didn't mean it in a derogatory manner. For me, when I don't know something, I just type it in Google. So I didn't know it meant what you said it meant.
You're fine.
I
Listen,
just
I'm not
I
mad
just
at
thought it
you.
just meant, white. I didn't know that it had a definition behind it.
I
So I do
appreciate you.
apologize because it's never my intention to make anyone feel any type of way. So I'm an adult, so I can't
I accept
apologize.
that, and I'd give you a big hug if you were standing next to me. I'm definitely not mad at you at all.
So
I
you
just feel
you
like,
taught me something today.
yeah, we need to talk about it. Yeah, because I feel like we should respect each other, man. There's no reason. That's the whole problem, division. And we are getting more of that. And it's just, we need to all come together. I mean, I'm telling you, listen, there's no reason for it. And I appreciate you looking it up and
No,
coming
I
back
didn't look
and
it
talking
up.
to me.
I just know because you told me.
Oh,
But usually
okay.
when somebody I look it up when I don't know what it means. So I assumed that meant just white. I didn't know.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. I appreciate you. Big hugs. No big deal.
Well, I learned something new also. I'm sitting there, hey, because I'm new to TikTok, but I'm coming with topics that open people's mind for us to share as a community, for us to grow and build. I'm not The newsroom is not here to destroy or put people down. That's why I leave it open panel. And look, The community healing one by one. Something small could mean something great in other people's eyes.
I like this panel. And let me just say this, and I guess that's why I get so emotional sometimes. I was part of a little sister, big sister program, and my little happened to be a little black girl. And when I tell you, she has changed her life. And when I met her, she was D's. She was wanting to unalive herself. I spent 4 years with her. She last year, and I'm just going to say this, she got out of, what was it, 8th grade, all A's, and they were 100 A's, okay? And she doesn't talk about unaliving herself any longer. And I tell her all the time, I'll just say Kay, it had nothing to do with me. You decided to make that change. However, I was a good positive role model in her life for the 3 or 4 years, and she made that change within a year. Within a year, that child started making straight A's. She wants to now be an anesthesiologist. We still are in contact. I was so proud of her. I bought her an iPad for graduating with all A's, hundreds. We spend time together. We go to dinner. I'm friends with her whole family. And this is why I say it's so important. And maybe you guys would think about getting into the program and doing it for the opposite race, because sometimes it brings a lot to you. You learn a lot from both sides. And I have, just by being around her and her family. And I know that there are cops and things treat blacks differently, and that needs to change. But we need more black officers. We need more. We only have like 12% of black officers. We need more people to come into that field, and it may make a change. It may change things. But also, when I see a lot of those videos, when a cop pulls you over, just have respect. All you got to do is hand them your information. That's all, and just keep quiet. More times than none, they'll either tell you, "Hey, have a great day," or they'll write you a ticket. And when you get to court is where you fight about the ticket. You don't fight with the officer around on the side of the road. You don't refuse to come out of the car. Just get out of the car. See what
I
he
agree.
needs. And that's,
I agree.
yeah.
I totally agree. I've been pulled over last year, and it was dark outside, and I knew I was going to get pulled over because I'm having issues with getting my truck registered. It's a lot going on, so I knew he was going to pull me over because my tags. And I pulled over on the side road, and a lot of them are a little dark where I live. And I was trying to get my wallet, and I had a small purse, and I said I couldn't get it out because I had a pen sitting on top of it. So I told him, I have a weapon on me and I cannot get my wallet. And I gave him my purse. And he said, "Do you mind if I put it on the back seat?" I said, "Yes." And I said, "It's one in the head." And I finished talking. And I said, "This is St. Louis. I'm a woman. I got to protect myself." He didn't think nothing of it. He just, unloaded it and took everything out. Came back with my ticket. He set my stuff on my dashboard. He said, "Do me a favor, don't put it back in until I pull off." He saw me trying to struggle to get um the thing back in the clip. And he took the clip and the extra one and he slid it in there for me. And we went on about our way.
And that's how it's done.
I
That was a
think
great story.
I think that when we come to these conversations, right, we have to understand too, like she just told her story, right? That we all do live different experiences. I say, like, sometimes people be like, we're living in different dimensions, like, type of thing. Like, my lived experience, I live in Alabama, deep south. They always in the top 3 worst everything. Okay. And I don't have that experience. I have they bothering you, they giving you tickets, so many tickets you cannot pay them all off. The judge tell you not to drive no more in the city, but you still gotta work to pay the ticket off. So then now the officers are sitting at your job because they know you at work, waiting for you to get it off, pull you over again. Like, so many things. I had my man be slammed on top of the police car, taken to jail. I had to go get him out. I was able to talk to the judge and get him released. Like, so many things. So it's like, my perspective is different because I live in Alabama. I live in the South. I live in an area where there has been a lot of brutality. And then other people may live in areas where maybe a quieter city or a quieter. So then you will have a different perspective for me. So like my biggest thing is like when we have these discussions, we have to remember how to put ourselves in like other people's shoes and have empathy. I have to believe her when she says this went well because I complied. And then it's a time where I argued a police officer down and got released still because I knew my right. Like I was aggressive and I knew my rights and I stood on business and told him like I knew what I was talking about. And that's what helped me get free from where I live. So I think that if we can still, if we, like, I like this panel because it's like, if I can sit with you and say, oh, I believe her, right? Because sometimes I listen to people's story, like, man, you know, because of my lived experience, then I feel like we can all come together, give each other tips. Like she was saying, be in other people's lives in different ways. Like teachers are a part of our kids seeing other cultures, right? Like it's not just big sister. I had a big sister. I had a YT big sister. I had a BLK big sister at the same time. They both were our big sisters because it was two of us. But it's just like we do see other people in different capacities at schools or in leadership or at the grocery store. We have YT people in our grocery store. So no, our kids do come across different perspectives and things like that. But I just feel like, can we be empathetic to other people's experience without saying like, well, that don't exist, or maybe you should be quieter, because where I'm from, quiet is going to get you put in jail. Quiet is going to get you hurt or unalived. You have to be aggressive and fight for your rights.
Right. And that is a good point, because we, everyone lives all over and you don't know, how it is for them. Because myself, I live in St. Louis, and my first encounter with with police, I worked in the city at I always say a hood bodega, because they are bodegas for people where they live. And I used to always wait on my boss to pull out. It was like a little alley. I don't know if y'all got alleys, but it was an alley on the side of the building. And we used to park right on the side of the building. So I was in front of him. I pulled out to the front of the store, waited on him to lock up, and then I waited on him to pull out. And I get to the light, I make a right because I was getting my little boy from his dad's house. The police pulled me over. And I had someone else in the car with me, which was fine. I didn't care about them pulling me over. But because my vehicle had been broken into so many times, the windows didn't come down. It was a 2-door car. I did not hear them say, let your window down. They had the light flash on my car. When I looked, they had they pum-pums pointed at my car. And it scared me so bad. I cracked the door, stuck my hands out, and I said, my window don't come down. I had tints. And that's the first time that ever happened to me. So it's like I could have lost my life because I didn't hear them. I've been pulled over twice out here in the same county. I'm in the suburbs now. The guy that pulled me over on the on-ramp. I talked to him and told him to get out the roadway and go around to the passenger side of the door. Because I told him I don't want him to get hit. And because I was so nice to him and worried about his safety, he just let me go. I don't want to be a witness for anything. I have 3 boys, 30, 21, and 13. And I teach them. My oldest son has an attitude. They all are different versions of myself. And I had to talk to him a long time ago because he was outside arguing with an officer, and I worked at the store at that time. And the officer came in the store. He said, ma'am, could you please talk to your son? Because his mouth was so reckless. And I tell them, they don't care about us. Some do, but I'm going to say 90% don't. And they're going to always think that you're a threat. So I know that what they were pulling me over for, so I'm not even going to argue with them. And I knew I was in the wrong. And I don't want him to be a victim. So we have to teach them. And it's the sad reality. The world is messed up. But in being a parent, tell your kid, when you encounter a police or they pull you over, don't, be compliant. Unless they trying to harm you. But be compliant and just go.
Yes. Y'all correct about a lot of things, but the main thing y'all correct about is the educators. Why I
They
say
don't
that?
want to be educators. They scared of these kids.
No.
Yes,
What I
that's
mean,
right.
see, what I mean by that is they fired a principal. I just found out this morning. They fired a principal for helping a homeless student because he became homeless. His mother moved to another area, so the area wanted to kick him out the district. But the principal took him in and helped him finish school, and they fired the principal.
That's terrible.
That's horrible too. It's life, but it's bad. It's really not a good look. And I seen that, and I seen the story. The principal was white, the guy was black. It was good that they did what he did, but it's just society, like everyone said. This is the life. This is what we're dealt with.
So yeah, so they look. So stories like this it is drive-by stories of the people who do an impact. But we need to make aware of the people who affecting our communities in good ways and push for more actions like that.
I just looked up why he was fired, and it wasn't because he helped him. It was more because he allowed him to stay in school even when he didn't live in the district, which is still a terrible reason to lose your job because he was literally trying to help this child. Um, so yeah, it was more of a liability for the school and violating the board policy, which is still there could have been it could have been handled differently, maybe putting the child in the district still in a group home or a foster family or something to that.
Exactly.
It's I don't know, it's the world just needs better people, and we all need to come together to unite. And I like this panel, I really do. This is probably one of the best panels I've been on, just because y'all are understanding, we're talking, we're not screaming over one another. I love it. Thank you so much for the time here.
I think that we're talking now about more about like redistricting. And like for me, that's a hard word for me, y'all. But my kids go to a school where it's predominantly BLK and then Hispanic. And so it's so funny to me because my 8-year-old thought that YT people were Hispanics. So that's how funny it is because he was like, "What? They ain't YT?" And I was like, "No." And it made me I was like, "Dang, so he don't know that?" Like, that was crazy to me, but my point is that when we redistrict our cities, right, they're trying to make it to where we have a certain amount of voting power. If I can split this up, then I know I'll get the majority vote for, Republican over here or Democrat. Now they do it to the schools too, because now some schools have better materials. They have better resources. They have higher funding. It's just so many things. Some of them are dance schools and magnet schools. And, then we got the bare minimum. If I could show y'all my kids, my third graders, spelling words, they are literally first grade words. Like, why are you doing this? Why are they're uneducating our kids. They keep saying they
Yes.
can't read and all this, but no, they're uneducating them. And then they don't give us the power as parents to say, "Hey, I like this school over here." Like Alberta has a great school where I live at. They don't let our kids go there because, they're not zoned. How about we make it to where they can test in if they're smart enough, right? If they can handle the coursework. So now you have these kids that are in these schools, which a lot of the behaviors are coming from boredom, right? Because if you teaching me went and what and is, and I'm in third grade, I'm finna be bored. I'm sorry. We need to be challenged. So just going back to the topic, what y'all are talking about is districts and how they redistrict our neighborhood. So like, what do y'all think about that?
Um, Here's how I feel about it. I feel like we need to hold the schools accountable. It shouldn't be just because you live in a district that your kids are taught less. But right now we have a terrible problem with illegals being here who do not speak our language. And my friends are teachers. I have several friends who are teachers, and they tell me we are told that we have to pass every student, whether they're failing or not. And some of our teachers, I have to put Spanish on the board, I have to put Arabic on the board, and I have to put English. So a lot of our kids are being put on the back, and it's not, this is why we need, things to change, and we need the illegals to go because they're hurting our children who are in our schools. They're not getting the education they need because they have to stop and they have to teach Spanish, they have to teach Arabic, they have to teach all these different languages, and the teachers are told, don't fail these kids, pass them. So what is if your child decides to lay down and take a nap, the teacher's not going to wake him up. She's going to let him sleep and pass him. I mean, it might be a D grade, but they're going to pass that student out of that grade. That's where our problem lies, is we need to hold these teachers and these schools accountable for teaching our children. And like you said, you're right, they're bored. They are going to get in trouble if your child is in third grade learning is and what. I mean, there's not challenging. So therefore, they're in trouble, I don't know where to start with that. I just don't, because we have so many people who shouldn't be in our school districts or in our schools, period. How do you feel about that?
I kind of have a different perspective because just slightly, like I agree with 95% of what you said, 96%. But I'm gonna hit the illegal babies and the people, because a lot of these people are not just coming here just because. For one thing, America sells a dream to people. Well, let's not forget the movies, the lifestyle, like people all across the nation look at America. That's why I say America is literally idolatry in Babylon. Like people literally copy everything Americans do. Why do we have so much cultural power, if you will, even though within our own country we're very we'll use people culture but really don't like them. So I think it's really backwards. However, the Hispanics, okay, so the Hispanics in my kids' class, they are learning English. It might be a little slower, but some of his friends know English now, but he started with them in kindergarten, like my youngest son. And so I do believe that if they continue to be with our kids, they're going to learn our culture and learn, vocabulary and things like that. So I will say that they have ELA teachers and things like that. I don't really think it takes much away, because there's not any YT people in our community anyway. So if only BLK kids went to that school, it'll only be like 100 kids in the school. So like, I think that everybody in America should be educated. And in Alabama, they tried to pass a law called HB 56. That the teachers had to they were mandatory to report when children were illegal and the parents. But then they had to block that because our Constitution and our laws says everybody that's in America they can't be held from education due to their immigration status, right? We don't want people that are not educated, because what education do? It teaches you their traditions, their culture, their history, how to live, how to be in society. So no, everybody must be. Why would they do that? If from your logic is what I'm saying, why would they want immigrants to know our education? That is how we are programmed in a way. There's a part of programming. Like if you go to school for 8 hours, when you go to work, a normal job, right? It's 8 hours. Like they literally teach you life when you be going to school. You're going to listen to the rules. You're going to follow the guidelines. You will have consequences. You have to wake up at this time. And this is like, think about it. So no, they have to be in school.
But why are our children who do speak English held back? Like you said, your child's being held back. You know why? Because they can't keep up with all the other students trying to learn. If one student doesn't know how to say English or do English, we need Spanish speaking teachers in our culture. If that's what, and not to mention, if they're illegal, they don't deserve to be here. I'm not being ugly. I'm being correct, because we didn't have this problem 20 years ago. We were taught, I mean, very educated. You come out of school, you go to college. Some of these kids cannot read third and fourth grade, and they're trying to go to college. They can't read. I mean, they don't even know how to, and they also, we don't do cursive anymore. And just so you know, is it Justice, or you were just talking, I can't, Just Christ, you can say white and black, and YT kind of stands for white trash. I'm not too sure if you are aware of that, but a lot of people use that as the white trash to try to demean the white people. With that being, but I also noticed you were saying BLK, but we can say colors on this app. With that being said, our schools, we need to protect our own children. And have you thought about homeschooling? Are you able to homeschool your child?
I have homeschooled my kids 2 years not in a row, but I did 2 years, and then they went to school for like 2 years, and then I homeschooled again for 2 years. I mean, 1 year, and like now they're back in elementary school. However, I did want to say something to what you said real quick. With my school system, I only can speak from my experience. They have ELA teachers. They literally pull them out. Even when I was a kid, they did that. They gave them speech classes and pulled them out, and they was in there learning English. So we cannot blame our kids' inability to focus and learn and understand and comprehend on immigrant children. That is not fair. These kids also go to school. Like literally, I got my substitute license. These kids also go to school. They talk the whole time. They don't listen to authority. They're not being parented. They're like, there's so many distractions. They can't critically think. Like that is not, because if we're leaving it up to them, I'm not leaving it up to them. My child is not behind, because I teach my child at home. They come home and learn again, play with me. Okay. But I don't like the fact that we're putting that off on them and blaming them, because if this was not a problem a few years ago, these kids that are in 12th grade now were still in the system a few years ago. So these still were the same kids a few years ago when you said this wasn't a problem. They can't read. This can't read is systematic. That didn't just happen at 1 month. Or 1 year. That happened over time, which means that already was a problem before immigration really became certain groups of people's issue. Because we all got to find a reason why and blame it's because of you. No, it's because of the kids. It's because of the parents. It's because of what they watch. Do they read with them? Do they teach them anything? Like, are they pushing them? Are they challenging them? Do they allow them to do things themselves? So it's all of this stuff.
I'm sorry. I'm actually working. So, I was on the phone with IT. So, I don't even know what I came back to, but I was just listening to the end part. I think that when it comes to the immigration and the school system, I honestly think it's wrong what they doing to them people. Because who's going to work now? But I know that when I was in elementary school, I went to school with mixed race my whole life. And when I was in elementary school, we went to school with everything. Black, white, Ethiopian, Chinese, Japanese, Asians. And we also had those, we called them portables. That was in the schoolyard. It was a separate building for disabled children or kids with learning disabilities. And they also had the class for the children that really couldn't speak English. They would teach them. Now you have teachers that can't speak English well. I did a parent orientation last week, and I went around to meet my son's teachers. I couldn't even understand one of them. She was like Hispanic or something, but she didn't speak good English. So how my baby gonna learn? But another thing is, we moved from the city to the suburbs. My kids were behind because the curriculum. They ended up getting an IEP because they were behind the rest of the kids in the district. And learning starts at home. The kids nowadays, true enough, they have a lot of distractions. They have those cell phones. They sit up and play the video games all day. They have the parents that they know going to come to the school and go off on the teachers. So they're going to do whatever they want to do. A lot of kids can't sit still because they're undiagnosed. Half of them got ADHD, but you think they're bad kids.
What did you do, though? What did you do to be proactive?
I let them stay in that program. My middle son graduated high school in 2024. My youngest son is still on IEP, and I let him stay because it gives him extra help and it will prepare him for high school. And I work with him at home. When it first started, when we first moved out here, I didn't realize my baby didn't know anything. So what I started doing was I will write the words and I will post them around the house. If it's the wall, it says wall. The TV said television. That way he knew how to spell all those words. Now he's reading chapter books.
Yeah, I did that too. I put when they was two, when they was first starting to learn word. My y'all not gonna believe this. My oldest son is 10. He was talking at 6 months, and I remember not like talking like us, but like trying to talk, saying stuff. And I remember this lady was like, "He gonna be talking, and you not gonna be able to stop him from talking." Like, and girl, he talks so much. I be like, please be quiet. Like, he talks so much. He gonna be somebody, baby. But my whole point is not to be disrespected either. Like, don't take this as like bad. I'm saying, what did you do? Not the IEP, not none of that. I'm saying because real quick, I'm gonna say what I did, and then you tell me what you did, because I was looking at the spelling words, and when they don't have homework, I make up homework. I said, oh, well, y'all on the 3 multiplication. Well, we finna go to the 4s, and we'll do that every day, 30 minutes. We sit here and we do something new. We did fractions yesterday. So I'm saying, as a parent, how do we not know our kids don't know vocabulary or things they need to know for their grade? Because I'm always like, oh, this too simple. This is really watered down. Oh, you finna put your words in alphabetical order. You finna put them in a sentence. You finna define them. You finna make a crossword, because that's what I grew up doing. They're not doing it to our kids. So when I see the curriculum and then I see what I was raised with and the great mind that I have, that's troubling. So I'm saying, as a mother, other than what did you do and what tips can you give us to like keep this going?
So, as I said, when we first started off, I was, doing the words. A lot of parents aren't active parents, and we know that, and that causes a rift in the kids' learning as well. So then I have a bookshelf actually with books on it. I started making him come home and getting a book every day. He had to read a book, and if he didn't know a word, ask me. The math part is not the same math that we grew up on. Not 1 + 1, or we did division a certain way. Oh no, honey. They do it a different way. So when I teach him my way, the answer is wrong because I don't know it. So I started, when I would go to his school for parent teachers conference, I asked for what they are doing. And if I didn't understand the way that they did it, I asked them to show me. I keep him encouraged. Even right now today, he's in 8th grade. I keep him encouraged. I tell him, if you don't know anything, and I've been doing this since elementary school, if you don't know something, it's okay to ask, because I'm an adult and I don't know everything. And I ask questions. I say, you ask questions, that's the only way you're going to learn. Right now, and it's crazy because him and my granddaughter both are 13. But and she gets in trouble all the time. So we have a competition going on right now, because I'm in university and both of them are in 8th grade. So to keep them focused and to keep them wanting to learn and pushing harder, I said, okay, so when school start back, we have a competition. We're going to see who can keep the best grades. Because that way, to keep them focused, keep them motivated, and prepare them. It's okay to ask questions. I let them know it's okay. I don't know everything, but we're going to do a competition and we're going to see who can keep the best grades. And then you reward them after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So you just speak positivity into them. Let them know it's okay. Don't worry about what another kid thinks. You always ask questions. When I don't understand anything, I'm going to ask questions. Kimberly, I'm going to call you Kimberly because I just speak. She just taught me something. I love to learn. I love to listen to different people because I learn and I pick up from everyone. So you have to teach them the same thing. And then you reteach them, because what they're taught in school sometimes is not accurate. Because I'm finna be 47. I had to reteach myself a lot of things. Before everyone jumped on that Juneteenth, I've been stopped. I've been stopped celebrating the 4th of July, and I had to teach my kids what Juneteenth was years ago. So it's like a computer. You have to reprogram your computer. You have to reprogram yourself, and you have to reprogram your children. You have to teach them what they're not learning in school and the importance of it.
Yeah, I'm also a very good advice. I'm also a very firm believer in note cards. Go buy 3x5 or 4x6 note cards, write the definition on the front, put the word on the back, and every night before the spelling test or whatever the test it is, make them read that every single night, whether they want to read it or not read it, because your subconscious mind starts remembering that stuff. So when the test comes, it will pop up out of their mind, even just reading it once a night. And then maybe you also playing with them, like reading them the definition and asking them the word. But note cards are where it's at. I feel like someone taught me that in college, and I would never have passed A&P1 biology without those. I would have never passed it. So I just feel like everything on note cards, reading it once a night, and when it's a little bit of a stack, it's not as hard to read a whole book. No kid wants to open a book. It's very it's like, it's dreadful, but it's overwhelming, should I say, overwhelming. But when they have note cards, and it's just a couple note cards, and each night they go over the note cards, by the third night, they're going to know the first 8 note cards. They're going to know it by heart because of the subconscious mind. So just keep that in mind as well.
Right. And Just Christ, I totally understand. I see your comment at the bottom. You don't believe in the competition thing, not long term. Well, because I know them. And I knew, from last school year. And so that's why it's a friendly competition. I know my granddaughter always in trouble, her mouth, her behavior, and which caused her grades to drop. I know
Yeah,
my kid I know my kid every now and again would do something at school, and everything that they do affects their grades. So it was like this year, I'm like, okay, they know, because my baby always asks me, how's school going? He asked me the whole summer break, how's school going? Because we co-parent. And when he knows that I'm doing well, it's like, okay, well, mom doing this, let me do it too. So I teach them, this is a new school year. You're not going to do the same thing you did last year. You always strive to be a better you than you were the day before. So to keep them focused, that's why I came up with the friendly competition. And it's not going to be the whole year. I just want them to start off strong.
yeah, I get that. I just know that I have a child, he's gifted, and he was in a class where the teacher, like, he'll like spell something wrong, or have like a problem wrong on his test, like one problem, and then she'll be like, oh, you're gifted, like you're not supposed to have mistakes, like you're not supposed to. And I was just like, when he told me that, it made me so mad, because I had seen like a change, I felt like when we were doing Bible study and we were talking about things, and because I challenged him with questions and stuff, he would get more angry, like when he wasn't right, or the answer was wrong. And I was trying to figure out, like, where is this coming from? And I started asking, like, is something going on at school? Like, tell me about school. Like, what's, like, because I was always focused on like the academic part, but I wasn't looking at like the socio emotional, or like the relationships that they build, or like, because that pressure that we got when we was kids with the bullies and so I never had thought about it for real. I didn't think it was coming from there. So then when I talked to him, it's like literally the teacher was bullying him, which gave access to the students to do it too. And they're like, oh, you got one wrong, and you like one wrong out of 10. I was trying to tell him, like, that's okay, that's great. But he felt like he had to be like a perfectionist, and he felt like he was in competition, because the way the school functions, it's like they put the kids against each other. And so for me, I'm only speaking from my experience as a mother with my child, because you said, everybody different. It didn't drive him it drove him to want to do it and like get it right or whatever, but the failure was heavier than the success, if that makes sense.
So let me jump in real quick. I want to thank everyone for coming in, and I appreciate the panelists. Everyone in here, please shower our panelists with gifts. It is welcome. Support our panelists. And also, make sure y'all tap the screen, repost, and share the live. Let's get more people in here. And we got a new panelist in here. How you doing today? Nick. Hello. Hello, Nick. Okay, he must not know if he on. I'm gonna put him down. Okay, so yes. Thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all for the gifts, helping with daily goals. Make sure y'all support the panelists. It is appreciated. And hey, this panel is open for every thought. We are now talking about education and parenting. And I want to also say I want to thank all the parents out there. Thank y'all for doing wonderful jobs, raising y'all children to be productive citizens in this country, in this world. It's hard. Parenting is hard. I have a child myself. It is hard, but sometimes it don't get recognized. But it is here in the news. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for taking y'all time out and teaching new ways while learning. We all learn while we parenting. We don't know everything. Nobody is perfect. But we showing that it is ways to minimize the hardship. We can minimize it by learning ourselves to do new things. Okay, y'all get back to the talking because y'all educate me.
I want to say that if y'all haven't thrown y'all daily heart me's, let's show him some love. It's only a penny. And Kimber and Just Christ, if y'all don't mind, I would like to follow y'all because I have to get back to work. And I really
I'll follow you as
appreciate you
well.
ladies. This has been a great panel, and I'm glad I saw you in my FYP.
Yes, yes. Thank you for coming
Your
through.
page private, okay.
Enjoy your day. I'll request. I'll make it unprivate.
And I love great friendly. Well, it can be debatable too, but I love panels where everyone can speak and and they're acting as adults. So this was nice, and I appreciate y'all. And
Enjoy
thank
your
you for
day,
having me
beautiful.
up. Thank you, thank you. I don't know what Just Christ doing, and who's the moderator? I'm gonna follow you too,
Yeah, the moderator is Tanya J.
Tanya.
Yeah, I
It's just
added
because the
you.
bottom of the screen is yellow, it's kind of hard to see the comments. And Just Christ, I am so proud of you, girl. Because I
Yes,
know,
nice
like,
to
I'm
meet
gonna
you.
be in and out. Because so sometimes I don't hear y'all. I have a habit of turning my phone down because I'm waiting on IT to call, but I can stay here until they call. I've been on the clock for an hour, y'all. I ain't even did no work. I can't get in my computer. So, but
I have to
yeah.
run as well. So you got ladies and gentlemen, have a great day. Thank you for letting me on the panel, and we will talk again soon.
Yes, yes. Come,
Thanks.
yes, come and visit. Jump on the panel at any time. We got all type of subjects.
I
All
appreciate
type.
you. I love this. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes,
Bye.
Nice talking to you, ladies.
yes,
What
yes.
you think, Tanya?
I agree with everything y'all said. I was on hold too because I'm babysitting. But everything you said and what she told you to do for us with your kids, getting them better, I agree too. Thinking sometimes maybe help with a tutor. My daughter used to be not so good in math, and I got her online tutor, and that helped her. Right now, she's an honor roll student. So sometimes we need extra help to come in. Also,
Hello, Nick. Is you there? You
Man,
actually to be put back up, and I invite you. Is you there?
is he on the mic?
Washing dishes. I got the phone next to me.
Okay, how
What's
you
going
doing
on?
today?
I am doing great. I was seeing you scrolling. I seen the guy who did that thing to Miss
Unaliving?
Massey.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's like, hey, looked like God judged him quick, didn't he?
Yeah. Yes, yes. So we started, yeah, the main subject is about him. We went into education, but you can deal with this if you want to. So the topic was that, hey, Mr. Ex-officer Sean had passed away over colon cancer, and I was asking everyone their thoughts on the subject because some people might have felt like, hey, it's karma. He got what he deserved. Some people feel like, oh man,
Right.
he had a untimely unaliving. He's supposed to dealt with that time. Some people might feel like justice gave him a wrong hand. But I can't tell people what they could think, but I can give people a platform to express how they think. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
The way
how
I
do
the
you feel
way
about
I
the situation?
this the way I see it, man. What he did to that woman was pure evil. I seen that video. That was horrible. It was horrible in her own home, man. And I believe that right now, the way the world is going, I believe a lot of that racist bullshit that's going on, I believe their judgment is here now. They're gonna cut out. God finna shut it down. They getting ready. People about to see God. They're gonna see the other hand. Because he merciful and he long suffering and he takes his time, but the judgment is coming. He went out here quick. He just got locked up. And
Yeah.
because God
I don't
controls.
believe it. I that was my take when I saw it. I was like, how do we know they really be putting these people where they say? Like, we don't freaking know. Even with Nolan Wells' case, how do we know if they do finally get arrested that they're going to be where they say they're going to be? What if they just take them somewhere that's off grid, like witness protection, and like you don't know. So
They no, they do hide them. They get away with a lot. They do.
I don't believe that he's dead. Like just like Jeffrey Epstein, just like so many. I don't believe it.
I
Yeah.
agree. We don't know. We just take for what the news says.
Well, they showed Jeffrey Epstein somewhere in Israel in that land over there amongst his folk.
Yeah, I
They
saw
might.
that.
Yeah. I just think they tie him up. They're getting exposed. The first thing they started doing was getting exposed for all their stuff they've been doing for 400 years. They've been doing stuff to people in secrecy for a long time. Just low down stuff. And now the whole world is seeing it. They're getting exposed before the cameras. Started with Rodney King. Then they tried to hide it, doing that old sneaky stuff. And the whole world got to see that. They're like, what? They still doing that? Yeah. They never quit.
And
They
then
don't want to repent.
it's like, do you remember that case where they had that guy that was like in the green thing, and like all the police officers was like beating him up, and like they like beat him to death, and like everybody was like coming out trying to figure out like what happened, and then like right after that, Charlie CK was unalive or whatever. So it's like we also have to remember they also make stories to happen to like divert your attention. We live in a movie, like real crap. You know what I'm saying? Something
Yeah.
that happened, then put something else out like to the black community. Now Cardi B and Stephon Diggs, like you know
What's going
these
on
headliners that make you
what's
go
wrong
click.
with her
I'm
party?
just using it for I'm
Okay.
just using it for example. I'm saying like for
Right.
celebrity news, they'll give those people that so they can look at that instead of looking at the news. And then they'll give the sports people this. Now this person came out and did this in sports. And now you down that rabbit hole. And it's just everything is a distraction. Why when all these events happen, something bigger kind of happens around the same time is what I'm saying. It's like covering up for each other so that you don't go back like Mississippi, Nolan Wells case that's happening right now. There have been 12 to 24 people this year in Mississippi that have been found hanging on a tree. So if I can make this case bigger and put this up in the front.
Well,
They're not gonna look at all the other 12 cases behind it. Is what I'm saying. Like,
you want me to tell you what I really think? I'm gonna tell you what I
I
think.
totally agree with
Look,
you.
here's the big picture. The people that they look up to was the people that was running that island. That's their leaders. And they are demonic. Them folk was doing some evil, just demonic stuff. That's the people that they look up to. That's the people they fuck. Trump was on the island too. He don't get off that shit that easy. His ass too. Them folk was on there unaliving them babies and doing all kind of evil shit and worshiping Satan. That's what they do. And I believe that God's trying to tell us it's time to separate from them. Because they're getting exposed for who they really are. It's time. That's why this keep happening, because he's trying to get God is not doing it, but he's exposing it, saying it's time to separate. It's time to leave them alone. They don't love you. Them people demonic. They follow demonic men. Their leaders are demonic. They're into some secrecy and evil and darkness. We can't be with them.
and I would say it's not just like black people, it's or white people, it's everybody, because the celebrities influence us too, you know.
Well,
so who is leading us, or the
slaves.
masses of our youth?
Right. The celebrities are slaves under that system. That system is ran by super powerful, elite white families. They'll use them to distract you, like you said. They'll use them, all them folk. Got P. Diddy, make P. Diddy a gatekeeper. They put black folk in charge of gatekeeping, where you have to go through them, you know what I'm saying? And they're destroying lives. So you got a lot of weak blacks who up under that. A lot of them. Give them some money, they too busy looking at the money. Remember when the story about the devil went up on the mountain with Jesus and said, "You bow down and worship me, I'll give you the kingdoms of this world. I'll give you all the material possessions you want."
So
Everybody ain't getting their money that easy.
I want
They
to say
don't,
this
man.
real quick to see where y'all mind at. So, okay, dealing with television. We understand that they used to, before they call them television channels and stuff like that and shows, they used to call them television programs.
Right.
The programming. So, so I look at people like Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks as stage events. Do y'all feel the same way, or what do y'all?
You talking about all the stuff that was going on during that time?
Like the pictures of Rosa Parks sitting on a bus with the police, and Martin Luther King getting arrested by the police.
It's propaganda, man.
No, the small hats own the media cameras. They always, that was their area, the newspapers. The small hats always owned all the newspaper coming. See, because they was moving in position. See, a lot of white people, excuse my French, they slow. Because see, they was trying to get them out of position so they can move into position. And that's what they did. Who owned all the banks? Small hats. Who owned Hollywood? Small hats. Just to go down the list. Kanye ain't crazy. He's telling the truth. And white people thinking they was running something up in these little redneck states, and the whole time you got played. You got pimped out, bro. They got pimped out. That's why Trump ass over there in that land right now. He's sitting there scratching his head like, I can't believe they got me in the swamp that you were supposed to drain.
Yeah.
They got his ass over there in this mess. He don't know how to get out of it. The food going up. Everything.
Yeah, so with this, because I look as above, so below, within as without. We can see on a world stage how America treat other nations.
Right.
So
and it's collapsing.
We cannot sit inside of America and say that is not America.
Right.
Like when we say, hey, the social structure as it is racist.
Yes, it is.
So if someone from the inside say no, it's not, we could give a demonstration of how America treat people on the outside. And we do got examples of individuals like ex-officer Sean who demonstrate the mindset of a lot of people. Because there's many people who said with great power come great responsibility.
Right.
And his responsibility was first and second to protect and serve.
Right. And if you notice, he didn't pew her until she said something to that spirit that was inside of him. That dark spirit. Remember?
Dean, I think that when you talk about respect, we have to remember that a part of respect is dignity. In order for me to respect you, I have to see you as a valued person. Like, you have to be valuable for me to respect you. Well, that's my definition what respect is when you Google it and look at the definition. Right. And so if I don't think that these people have dignity or value, I will never respect them. And one thing you said, you pulled a quote from a superheroes. That's what I thought. When you said that, I was like, oh, Marvel. So we also watch these movies where they always have this white or YT savior complex, right? They always save the world from some type of doom. Now, what is the black story believe that Jesus saved the world from doom? But all these Marvel stories and stuff teaches you what you said with greater some you said, but when you whatever you said,
with great power come great responsibility.
great responsibility, right? And so when you said that, I literally thought Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, like what? That's in all of that. So again, what you were going back to earlier, that's programming. That's programming.
Look at Spider-Man. Look what he's throwing up. Look at Spider-Man when he's shooting the webs. He's throwing up the Baphomet. That same shit that them rock bands throw up. You get me? Those are symbolisms.
I never knew that.
I'm telling you how they get down. They do everything in these secret codes. They dark.
Do y'all know where Wakanda is?
I heard it was in America recently.
I heard it's in the Congo.
No, Wakanda is America.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It's the Native American people of America. You feel it's hidden in our face in Marvel movies that the people who are called African American are the indigenous people of America.
Well, I got the justice in the movie when the brother Chilla was African, right?
Yeah.
But
T'Challa.
There was a lot of guilt that he had, but the most powerful thing, and I just tear up every time I see that part, is when I see Killmonger say, "I should have." He said, "Just do me like my ancestors did." He was saying they were willing to die before they be a slave. Boy, that shit was deep. That was a heavy, heavy line he hit on. He's talking about how all of them drowned. They jumped off the slave ships and drowned. That was deep.
I'm gonna say this too, though. On the opposite end, it takes a special kind of person to still be a slave and endure to survive. So I'm gonna speak on it from that perspective. Yes, I understand that, right? Because some of us be like, if that was me, I'd pick a tree. We always saying it. But what I'm saying is, what about the ones that said, I want to live? Even though if my experience and my surroundings and where I am is not conducive, like literally they fed them pork, y'all. They tell you not to eat pork today. Yeah. They fed them everything they ate was the worst parts of the animal. So how can you tell me that was not God? They kept them. It wasn't the food they kept them. It was God. And so when we start to unlock who we are, right? They know that we have we have the signal to heaven. You know what I'm saying? And they just don't want us to know that. And see, we're so city girls, rappers, drug dealers, like things. Like we want to do all this stuff. All this distraction. That's why we are where we are today.
Right.
I want everybody to know, because I learned this, that we ain't worth nothing. Do not put no value over your head, because we are all full of potential. We are greater than our surroundings. Because today we could be making bad grades, and tomorrow we could be millionaires. It's all up to us of what our objective in life is. It gonna have, because we all gonna have outside interference, especially dealing with police officers. I want everybody to understand, know your right. Be mindful, patient, especially if we not in the mood to deal with people. Understand that some people got that power complex
Right.
that they
Yeah.
feel like they have the power to take a life. Just be careful out there.
And one thing they don't want to do, and I've been figuring this out over the last 10 years, they don't want the African American to have allies on this planet. Okay? Because we the children of God. I noticed even with the African thing, all of a sudden African Americans always they start having all this beef stuff. They wasn't even into each other. They was on two sides of the continent doing their thing. I believe that they fighting against that too. They instigating that
Yeah,
because they don't want you to have allies.
they continue to try to warp our identity. So like we don't know
Yeah.
who we are, so we kind of like thin in. Like we trying to please you and you and you. But I'm gonna tell you this. The biggest harm to me, in my opinion, to the black community is the black puppets. It's the Tyler Perrys. It's the people that put out media that we know that certain groups of people run, right? You can't say that on here.
No, you
Okay.
can't.
And literally, though, they work for them and they have to approve what we see, y'all. Because we see so much smacks and other stuff, we be like, dang, they'll show anything. But no, they won't. Y'all, forget. They will not show anything. They will not show anything. But if it dehumanizes you, if it sets you back 3 generations, if it promotes alcohol, if it promotes smugs and smacks and all this stuff that they teach us violently. All the BT movies I watched growing up, why was I watching this stuff? My kids ain't watching none of that. I'm not raising thugs. You get what I'm saying? But everything you see from our people is like the worst parts of us. Why is it? Where do I see black excellence? When I watched Akilah in the B, I was so proud. I wanted to be a spelling bee champion. I even joined the spelling bee because of that movie. And I third place. I was third. Y'all crushed my heart. I was third place. I missed out on the word glitz because it was ZT and not TZ. So they messed me up. But they got me good.
Right.
But I kind of digressed.
Everything is to paint. Everything is to paint a negative image. I'm 59. When hip hop came out, it was a community thing with the Sugar Hill Gang. Everybody met at a picnic in New York, Chicago, New Orleans, different places. The Sugar Hill Gang had started off with hip hop, and people would come out and barbecue and show number brotherly love. Then we had something called Operation Push with the Isley Brothers, all the black musicians, right? They would go around the boxer with them, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Jim Brown. All of them was involved in our community. They came to the hood. They was in the hood back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say O.J. Simpson. He don't count. But anyway, he was on something different.
See, what I was taught was, and you can correct me because you are older than me. I'm 29. I was taught that music came out of them speaking back, like that. Like black people use music as like news and like to promote, like you not finna be doing this to me, like F the police. You get what I'm saying? So like, can you kind of talk about that from that point, and then like the jazz and stuff could just be the pain and the things that we went. It was an expression of who we are because you didn't see us, so now you finna hear me. You finna get it some way.
We used to speak to our people. So them little bitty hats in the mid 80s, around the time NWA came out, the small hats is promoted NWA. That's why I don't care for Dr. Dre. I see him as a sellout. He was the beginning of that change. They used him and Eazy.
So y'all brought some up a little earlier, and I want to expound on it. Yes, media. And one part of media people got to realize is social media, TikTok. It could be used for a good thing. That's what I'm doing, using it for a good thing to spread inspiration and understanding. And it could be used for destruction. So one destruct, a lot of people they give different take, but my overall view is like the brother was saying about on the division between Black Americans and Africans, and also division between
Caribbeans.
islanders,
Yeah,
Caribbean
yeah.
islanders. So we got a community called FBA. They
Okay.
they call us a foundational Black America, and they feel like they
Hmm.
deliberating from other Black people as saying, "Hey, this is our identity and our lineage." But you have people in that moment causing destruction.
Right, because they don't have a mission, bro. They don't have a mission statement. The Panthers had a mission statement. Everybody had some kind of mission statement or some kind of thing they wanted to do. They just saying, "Oh, I'm FBA. What was your plans for our people?" They don't have one. They don't have a plan.
And the NAACP was like that too, which you still can speak on because you have more years than me, so you have more experience like hearing about things. But when I read
Right,
the book on Medgar Evers, y'all go read that book. You can get Libby if you have a library card. And let it talk to you. It's not like a you can't read it, but it'll read it.
right.
And the book was Medgar Evers, and like it wasn't about the NAACP, it was about his life, but like the things that the NAACP were doing to him, man. They were holding them back, and they were like, "We are not doing sit-ins." Like every time he'll do a sit-in, they was like, "We're not going to help you get these people out of jail." And that's what their whole point was, to pool your money together, so when your people get locked up, you can get them. I know how many are people in jail and they ain't supposed to be in there, or it was very minimum. And if we feel like if we can build a sustainable facility to help rehabilitate them ourselves, and then pour our funds into that, and then somebody use that money to get a franchise, so now we have jobs, and then we can, like, it's so many things we can do, but it's like we don't like each other. We don't want to help each other. We want to be the top. We want to be at the top all the time and be seen.
You know where they come from, right?
Yes, that's where your crooked people come from, and your coons and your Brandon Tatums. You know what I'm saying? People that are not attached to the culture.
Remember you was watching Django Unchained when it was making the slaves fight each other? You ever see the movie Django Unchained
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Jamie
yeah.
Foxx? They was taking slave people and make them compete against each other. That's where they come from. That was to keep them divided. They had some treated some better than the other ones. It was just a lot of that going on. Like Samuel L. Jackson, he was in the house hating his own people.
But
Or
I
Uncle
also
Tom,
think
basically.
it's a heart issue, not just a history issue, because it makes you feel good to oppress too. It makes you feel you have that sense of power, right? We
And
talk
it,
about power. And it don't give you, see, me giving a homeless person money makes me feel powerful. I'm like, oh, like I'm so happy they'll be able to get what they need, this and that. But if
Yeah,
you don't feel like that as a human, you get a erection off of oppressing people and hurting them and destroying their homes and ruining their days and their lives and years, right? Because some of this stuff can last years and ruin your life. Like, so it's like you feel an itch for that, like you itch for that so you can scratch it, but you have to itch for something that is good for the good of humanity. You know what I'm saying? And our
right.
superheroes, like I was saying, our superheroes have all these magnificent powers. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that we would never be able to do, but just love and kindness and being gentle to people. See, those are that's harder than me shooting lasers out of my eyes, right? If you think about it, to be patient while somebody counting out $20 worth of change and you got beans on the stove, right? You like, it's like it takes more for me to be able to be invisible, if you will, than to actually show humanity and
Love.
kindness. I'm not doing that. That's not what. That's lame.
What happened
You
to
know.
our people? We used to love each other, but what happened was a lot of people want to be at that table with them. They want to move up the ladder. They want to be in them white neighborhoods, them white picket fences. They want to be have with the white man. And so, what you don't understand, you got in order to have what he got, you're gonna have to do what he did to get his. You're gonna have to lie, you're gonna have to steal, and you're gonna have to unalive.
So
Because he made it.
let's see this right here. So let's say once them parents moved to the suburb for comfortability and to be safe, or however the reason that they did to move in a different neighborhood. So now their kids is growing up in a mixed school. Majority, let's say majority of them is white. So their viewpoint is going to be different than yours as the parent and people who live in the urban area.
That's right.
So now, like, let's say that most of these people are not coons. Let's say they not coons. Let's say their culture experience is different than yours, and their viewpoint on black culture is different.
Even
Because
when you watch them Tyler Perry movies, and when you watch the Tyler Perry movies, where they show the wealthy black families, you notice they act like white families. And they have that same drama fighting over the money. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
white
think
families
that
been doing for centuries.
I think
They
that
took
we as
on their
black
way.
people, we literally like we experience life, right? And then we'll laugh at it. We'll try to bring, like, the Wayans brothers are a perfect example. They lived a poor and all this stuff, and then they made a light of it, right? So I think that when we make light of it, for one thing, that's a self-defense mechanism. Like, that's something that you don't realize that you're protecting yourself from, something you haven't healed from, because baby, you shouldn't have been raised like that. Okay, so then
Right.
you make light of it, and then the YT audiences look at that, and now you a joke. See, I keep saying, whatever you do as a BLK person, they have to feel like they don't fear you. They have to feel like you're the joke. You're the friend that it's funny. You know, I'm surprised with Nolan Wells' case, they didn't say he was funny. He was the funniest one, because you always funny. You always a gesture. You have to be some type of entertainment. Either you playing ball, you're a comedian. You maybe you're serving them. You're a chef. You got to be something, doing something towards them where it's a service to them, right? Like, you can't
Right.
just be you independently. So I feel like you were saying, when you watch the movies, yes, it has a lot of nuances of, like, we don't eat at the table. Like, my family was eating at the table till somebody broke one of our chairs, and we had to start eating at the couch. Okay. But we eat in our rooms. I send my kids to their room because I want them to just experience that. I know parents be like, don't eat in the room, but no, I don't do. I let them eat in their room and watch a TV show and things like that. But I feel like the movies, like you said, is very structured in the same way that they live, and it's like not our living. But then you
Like
got
white people.
the mockery of the grandmothers, the cursing people out, the saying, I'm gonna go by the church, and then they like drove by the church. I remember at first I laughed at that, and then I was like, that is not really funny, because it's like you told God something that you knew internally you wasn't gonna do. So it's just like the nuances in the shows, they seem very like non-controversial, or like, I'll let that slide. You ever be watching it, you okay, I'm gonna let that slide, and then you done let that slide about 12 times, and then you start to be like, something ain't right about it. It was funny, but am I willing to look at the truth, or I just still want to be entertained? Is the thing, because the TikToks, the shorts, the YouTube people, the ESPN, all of this is entertainment, y'all. The entertainment is our biggest distraction. What makes us feel good. See, God calls us to be uncomfortable. He don't want you to be comfortable, because if you're comfortable, how you gonna do my calling? How you gonna do my job? If you live in life and you keep your feet like, no, you have to be uncomfortable too. You have to keep going to the source. We keep drinking water because our body needs water, so we're gonna always go to that source. Like, so what?
yeah,
Exactly.
yes. So let us all remember Sonya Massey. I put a picture up so y'all can know. R.I.P. Rest in peace.
Yeah, she was a sweetheart, man. I could listen to She was sweet the way she let him in there. She was making him some tea. Come on, man. You know what I mean? She was getting him some tea, bro. She let them in her house. She could have just said, you can't come in here. That lady was beautiful. The one that police unalive that lady in that
Yes,
picture.
and they just act like they just so scared of us. Like we're so terrifying,
Hospital
man.
in her house.
We're so terrifying to them.
You can look at her spirit. I'm looking at her picture. You can look at her spirit. You
Yes,
can see that she was a beautiful soul. But when she said, I rebuke you, she was talking that spirit inside of him. And that thing snapped. That
and I do
demon.
think that she did suffer from something, like
She's
because
seen that demon in him. She's seen
because
it.
I think that when we deal with police officers, that's another thing within the 12 to 24% that I was talking about earlier, is that they don't think that we can have anything wrong with us. You said we was animals. Why did you have animals raising your kids? Did you know that when you breastfed a YT kid, you couldn't use the same breast on the BLK child that you had at home? Because mind you, they was raising their own kids while they had to raise their kids in daytime. They were raising their own kids at nighttime, you know? And so if we was animals, if we were experiments to figure out how birth works and what all you could do, the threshold of pain and all this stuff, when they don't feel pain and all this crazy stuff, why did you let us take care of your kids? Do that make
They know
any sense?
they know who you are. This is what black people don't understand. They always knew who you are. They know you the children of God. They knew this. I was down walking one day, and this white guy came with me talking about some Jesus and all that stuff. And I looked him straight in his eyes, and I said, you do know that the children of Israel were blacks. He said, we've always known that, and he walked off. I know y'all the children of God. That's what he told me, and he walked off. They know who you are. They know exactly. The Vatican ordered them to come in Africa and get a lot and go in these lands. They were ordered to do it because these people got a pact with the devil. I'm telling you, it's demonic. They're evil. It's deeper than what we think it is. It's big.
And
The picture, big.
and by me looking at the video and looking at her home and stuff while she was moving around dealing with everything, yes, I agree. I believe that she did have some mental stress at that moment. If it's her
Yeah.
panicking because she's seeing and hearing somebody outside of her door, or
Right.
she kind of iffy around the police because hey, it's two of y'all and it's just one
Right.
of her.
That's
She
right.
could be
And guess who that
nervous.
was on the side of the house?
Yeah,
Guess who that was on the side of the house? It was them two cops. They knew that it had something to do with. They trying to say that he knew about her because of his wife got into it with Massey on the job. I think Massey must have told on her about something she probably was into. But I think the lady worked at the hospital. Miss Massey worked with his wife. So it's a connection.
And what I was gonna say is, think about how white people think about dogs. You know, they protect them. They the man's best friend. You know, all of this stuff. And when you have a dog, and you have a bunch of dogs, right? And you have one that just go crazy. Like I know somebody got a story about a dog that done went crazy in their life, right? What they do? They put the dog down, right? But why can you be mental or have mental issues, but I can't? Because you don't see me even as a dog. You don't even see me as a human. They ain't gonna think of me as a dog. They said we were not human. They give you a lesser amount of prescription medication. I done try to get stuff for pain, and they like, you don't need that. You take ibuprofen from Walmart.
But
And I'm
they
like,
the ones got
excuse
the
me.
Neanderthal. It's the other
So
way around.
yeah, so I'm just saying, it's just not the way that they view us medically, y'all. It has not been. When you go look up, I had went to a Goodwill. I'm gonna put this out here. This is personal, but I'm gonna put this out here. I went to Goodwill, right? I tried on some clothes. I tried on like I had went and got like some men's like button down polo like type shirts because I wanted to like layer up. I was trying to learn how to layer, right? And just from putting it over my clothes that I already had on, I got scabies from that. I had all kind of stuff coming out my skin, all this stuff, right? So I go to the hospital, they give me the medication or whatever. But it's like the pain from it was terrible. And it's like things like that, they don't care. They don't care. They feel like you can deal with that you're okay. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I have had friends that they have went to the hospital and they have gotten medication for nothing. They'll be like, I'm stressed out. I have an exam coming up. And then they'll get them Adderall or anything. And it's like, I'm just like, this hurts. I didn't choose this. I was just thrift shopping. They do not care. They don't look at us the same way as they'll take care of other people. They'll be like, you'll be all right. Like, and I've noticed, I've heard them prescribe people stuff in another room waiting for my results and hearing them give the other people real stuff to help them like cope. So my thing is, when I talk to women, these women at these schools and the mothers of my friends, my kids' peers, they're all on ADHD medication. They have Xanax. They have everything you could think of. And I'd be like, nothing is wrong with you though. I can literally come with a symptom, prove something wrong with me, and you'll tell me I'm gonna be all right. You're gonna be okay. Just go and get something from a Walmart, not even from them.
They have more love for animals, for dogs and cats.
And I think they get you on these medications, knowing that once you get them in your system, it's hard to get off of those medications. We have so many people on thousands of things, and they've been on them for years. And when they stop taking them, their body is resistant. Their body is going crazy like they need them. They prescribe a medication for everything. Any little thing, oh, this is this. Everything is blood pressure though with them. Everything is you got high blood pressure. And everything is you asleep. I went doctors say, you have sleep apnea. Why? Everybody snores. Why?
But the stress comes from them.
Right.
It's like for instance, y'all sell the D in your community and you got pew-pews. Well, they created that problem.
Yes.
And then they say, y'all unaliving each other. Well, you created that environment for them to unalive each other.
Exactly.
That's what they do. That's pure evil. That's what we're dealing with.
We are.
Baby had to get his tonsils, his adenoids taken out and his tonsils because he was like snoring. And I ain't gonna lie, like, because you was like, it's just snoring, but like, no, he'll be like snoring and then it'll stop. It'll stop. And then you don't hear nothing. And then it'll, like, you almost coughing and then it'll come back. So for me, I had to go get my baby the surgery. And then I had got it myself when I was a kid. My brother got it as he was a kid. So when you say that, I kind of on both sides, I'm like, yeah, like it is snoring. But like, why are so many of us affected by it?
Right. When we all affected,
I had sleep.
Yeah.
I had it before. Guess what I did? Sleep apnea means you got too much fat around your neck. I lost weight. It stopped. That's all it is.
Well, my doctor made me take the test because they wanted to know. That was crazy. They wanted to know if I stop breathing in my sleep.
Yeah.
Because if I'm having an upcoming surgery, do you stop breathing in your sleep? So that's why they made me do it.
I'm so sorry. The fat around the neck is crazy.
He said it's a bunch of fat. I said,
you got too much fat around your chest.
Nick, I would send you a picture of my son. My son don't have no fat around his neck. Okay.
And sometimes some vitamins will fix that. I take magnesium now, right? I sleep like a baby.
Okay.
So, Josh, your kids did have it?
My last son had it, so he's 8, but he had it when he got the surgery when he was 5. But girl, he snored like a bear. He used to wake up the whole house and then you'll not hear nothing. So I would get up. So then one night I put him in my bed and I was laying down and I was like, I'm finna stay up and watch him. So I stayed up and he would just be snoring, then it'll go away and it's nothing. It's not even no breathing. And then
you got CPAP?
Did he get the CPAP machine?
No, I scheduled him sleep. He has to do a sleep study.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Girl, they
I did
gave me
that.
a year out. It was a whole year. So that tells you how many people this affects. But like, what
Yeah.
is this? And then he talks in his sleep. Both of my kids sleepwalk. They'll get up
They
and
gonna
just
give
go
him the
stand in the
machine.
bathroom. So I'm just like, I started telling them like, don't watch certain stuff, but like before they go to
Before you go to
bed,
sleep, yes.
and like do the humidifier and like but it says it stops your heart. Like the way when you sneeze, it'll stop your it's like it'll stop your heart and they not breathing, and then it's just their body
Right.
shut back on. And so then his daddy, I started noticing, and both of them grind their teeth. His daddy was doing it too,
Yes.
because I had never noticed. So I was like, oh my gosh, this has been going on this whole time. And so I think that they got it from him, and he ain't went to the doctor. You know how they be? They don't want to go to the doctor.
Men do not
But
go to doctors, right?
yes, but what I said was I'm just gonna continue to like watch them and like do the humidifier, and then just all you could do is like schedule the appointment, because I can't do nothing for a grown man, but for my kid I'm gonna do whatever.
I bet you if you go
They
do
gonna give him
Dr.
the
Sebi
machine.
stuff, go look up Dr. Sebi and find out his books. And I bet you he got something for it. Because he got all natural stuff for the help that. That's why they knocked Nipsey Hussle out of here. Because he was getting ready to reveal
He was
or
getting
make a
ready to
little
tell
mini movie about
everything
Dr.
about it.
Sebi.
Yep. Nipsey has knowledge behind him.
There's so many herbs from Africa that our people used to take. And I know we're talking about back in the ancient, people in Africa used to take, in China, they took herbs for everything. They lived a long time.
And we had a lot of herbs here, and especially one of them that
America too, they did.
a lot of
They
people
did.
don't know about is dandelion.
Dandelions, that's
So
right.
so
For the kids.
we got to understand that we have people like J.P. Morgan. We got people like Ford. We have people like the Vanderbilts and the Rockefellers. They all
Rothschild.
have their hand in big oil. Why I went straight to big oil? Because majority of our medicine today, like Tylenol, aspirin, and many, many more, even some of our food have oil, petroleum-based product.
Yeah, and I was looking at this video. I had to try to find the guy so I could tell y'all, but he was talking about the boule. I don't know if y'all know what it is.
Yeah,
Anybody know what that is?
that's like the fraternities, sororities, and
Yes.
the
There you go.
Masonic lawns, Mason.
And if you go watch his video, now you're gonna be very interested in this. The Advil and Tylenol were deities. That's the name of them. Ain't that crazy? I had found that out recently. And I was like, oh my gosh, like they literally are playing in our face, even what pharmacy means. You can't look at the Western definitions of stuff in the vocabulary. You have to say, well, because we wasn't first. So you have to go figure out, what did this mean at first though? Right? And they put an illusion on it and change it, and they program you all throughout the 12 years. Why is it 12 years? It was 12 disciples. Why is it 12? Why is it 12 years until you graduate? Why? Like, none of this makes sense. I be saying, if I wanted to be a doctor, and I said it, I don't care if I was a kid, and I said it, from 5 years old, you should be training me to be a doctor. So when I reach a certain age, I know everything I need to know. What if you are only learning common sense, common knowledge, and then a curriculum of what you want to do in life, right? I don't need to know everything else, because I'm not doing that. I don't need to know about some of this stuff. I would say George Washington Carver. I mean, not George Washington Carver, George Washington. There's some stuff I don't need to freaking know. But what if so they're not building like workers. They're programming you to think a certain way. When they let animals talk in the Bible, I believe that animals talked at some point. Because how else would Eve have talked to the serpent? So my thing is, with kids shows, they use what? Animals to talk to the kids. Bluey is blue, and she's a girl, but she looks like a boy.
Yeah.
My 10-year-old said, "Mama, I was watching this show and they got a pink balloon, but the balloon is a boy, but he's pink." So he was asking me like, why were they doing it? And I went in through the show and he started pointing out other people that had like girl bodies but man voices, and it was like opposite. And I said, "Oh my gosh." And I told him he ain't watching it no more. So it's stuff like that. Like, you're being told to be trans, or you're being told to be this or that. You're being confused. Your gender roles are being confused in your mind. So, like, what y'all think about that?
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot of programming to the point that I'm gonna just do it like this. It's controversial, but I'm gonna do it like that. They'll have it to the point that let's say a black female date a white guy, it would have a black guy mad, or vice versa. A black female date a white guy, and then you know what I'm talking about. But on the opposite end, they would make it more acceptable for that guy to date another guy, or that girl to date another girl, but opposite than that. So they rather push division to control people, the divide and conquer strategy. Have us divided against each other while they steal. While we fighting each other, they in the back taking what they want to take.
Yeah.
And they don't have no problem because they not looking for entrepreneurs. They not looking for creators, because they rather have a computer program to do all the inventions while they use workers. They just need workers to press button and do services, customer service.
Yeah, because when I don't know if you remember what I was saying about my kid, my third graders spelling words. I'm like, they're doing this on purpose. Like, I had some bad living conditions in my neighborhood, and I went to the city council and I spoke there, and some of the representatives came to my house. And when they were walking around, I got me a vocabulary wall. I got all the books of the Bible on the wall. I got Bible vocabulary on the wall. I got everything. Every Bible study we did, just pictures, everything. And they was just amazed. They was walking around and it was just like, oh my, like you teaching them. I got a whiteboard, expo markers. Yes, because I even though it's like I wasn't trying to prove nothing, like I had this since I've been here. Like, I've been here 5 years. But it's like you were even shocked to think that somebody is teaching their two black sons, right? I don't have daughters. And they daddies in their life. He live with it. We together. So it's like a family that's teaching their kids. That was shocking to you. And it was marvelous and amazing. That's sad. That's
Yeah.
freaking sad. Cause that mean you look at me off jump, not knowing my living experience, and say I don't know shit. That's what that gives me.
Yeah, they rather to have a dumb mule, a work mule, than having a human being capable of expressing themselves. If I could keep you, who know everything, the job back and forth. But if I could keep you as a worker, I can move my son or somebody in place that have you train that person to be your boss. That's how messed up it be sometimes.
Hmm.
But yeah, I had followed you, and I'm about to get out. I done 2 hours on here. I'm gonna come back later on today and do a live. So
Okay.
so because you was on my panel, I'm gonna put you in a chat where when I go live, I'm gonna just send the link and stuff. If you I am looking for moderators for when we do shows. The moderator job is to check the comment section to make sure that people not saying crazy
Yeah.
stuff, and also if you come up with topic, you come through. I'm trying to build a team so to the point that when people start really supporting and sending gifts, I could also pay my moderators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have an open house tonight with my kids' school, but after that, I can get on.
Okay, okay. Yes, I'm a
It's at 5.
huh?
It's at 5.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna do my live today, but I know
Okay.
I'm gonna do a live tomorrow because wait, what today is?
Oh my gosh, it just went off.
Yeah, yeah, I had to slide my phone to see what today is. So, yeah, I'm gonna do a live later on today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna do it around six in the evening.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Alrighty. Well, nice to meet you.
yes, yes, nice to meet you. And just hit me up. I'm gonna make sure I share. If you have a topic that you feel like should be talked about, something going on in your community or anything, hit me up and I'm gonna make sure we talk about
Okay, definitely.
it. For sure, for sure. So everybody who is on the live, who watching, I would like to thank y'all for helping me reach 6.3K likes. We had 304 people who came in and stayed for a while or left out. Appreciate it a lot. We got 3 new followers, 6 gifters, and the live went on for 2 hours and 21 minutes. I want to thank the panelists. I wouldn't have went long this live. I wouldn't have went long on this live if it wouldn't be for the panelists with some valid information. Each panelist was respectful. I didn't have to stop and mute people and say let someone else talk. Each and every one of them was very respectful and they held their conversation as if we was family. In my heart, I love you all. I might dislike some of the things that we do as human beings. I said we because I know that some of y'all might not like some of the things that I do. But dislike aside, we still could have love for humanity. And that's why we here in the newsroom mean never in the working service. Because every day we got to work and build a better society. So would you like to give your outro to everybody?
I just say everybody have a good day. And yeah, have a good day and don't judge nobody and don't add to people's traumas. Just go through your day and thank God. That's all.
Facts, facts. So take care. See you again later. So everybody, thank y'all for coming in the newsroom. We do have a website. It's www.newsroom16.com. You can catch us on YouTube at Newsroom 16.1. And you is in TikTok under Newsroom_16. Newsroom mean never in the working service. And we appreciate you all for coming in, being panelists, and also viewing and gifting. Appreciate you and see you later. See you next time.